Picture a world consumed by water. Rain falls relentlessly, a curtain of gray against a sky churning with fury. Waves like angry mountains rise and crash, swallowing the land. Amidst this chaos, a lone vessel battles for survival, a wooden sanctuary amidst the storm. This is the image that has captivated humanity for millennia, the story of Noah's Ark. A man, chosen by a higher power, entrusted with a monumental task to preserve life amidst cataclysmic destruction. He builds a colossal ark, a wooden behemoth designed to weather the ultimate storm. Into this ark, he gathers his family and representatives of every living creature, 2 by 2. They are the last vestiges of a world on the brink of annihilation, a microcosm of life sailing towards an uncertain future. The story of Noah's Ark forces us to confront fundamental questions about our existence, the relationship between humanity and the divine, the delicate balance of life on Earth, and the enduring power of hope in the face of overwhelming despair. The story of Noah's Ark, as told in the book of Genesis, is perhaps the most well-known flood narrative. But it is not the only one. Across cultures and continents, similar stories emerge, echoes of a primal fear, a great deluge that reshaped the world. In the Babylonian epic of Gilgamesh, we encounter Utnapishtim, a man chosen by the gods to build a vessel to survive a catastrophic flood. Like Noah, he gathers animals and his family, seeking refuge from the wrath of the gods. The prevalence of flood myths across diverse cultures is striking. From Mesopotamia to the Americas, from ancient Greece to Aboriginal Australia, stories of a great flood persist. These narratives, while differing in detail, share a common thread: a world overwhelmed by water, a chosen few who survive, and a new beginning for humankind. Did a global flood actually occur, or are these myths reflections of more localized events, forever etched in the collective memory of humanity? The Bible describes the flood as a divine judgment, a consequence of humanity's wickedness. The Epic of Gilgamesh offers a different perspective, highlighting the diverse ways ancient cultures grappled with the forces of nature and the mysteries of creation. The story of Noah's Ark is often met with skepticism in our modern scientific age. The idea of a wooden vessel, larger than any ship built before the 19th century, surviving a global flood seems at first glance implausible. Yet, the question of the Ark's feasibility has captivated engineers, shipbuilders, and enthusiasts for centuries. Could such a vessel, built with the technology available at the time, have actually been constructed? And if so, could it have withstood the forces unleashed by a world submerged? Shipbuilding experts have pointed out that the Ark's proportions, with a length 6 times its width, would have provided significant stability even in rough seas. Furthermore, the Ark's design, with 3 decks and a gabled roof, would have maximized internal space while providing structural integrity. While the exact type of wood referred to as gopher wood is unknown, it is believed to have been a strong, resinous wood, well suited for shipbuilding. The enduring fascination with Noah's Ark has spurred numerous expeditions to find its final resting place. Mount Ararat, a volcanic peak in present-day Turkey, is often cited as the Ark's landing site, based on interpretations of biblical and extra-biblical texts. Over the decades, countless explorers, armed with faith, determination, and increasingly sophisticated technology, have ventured to the remote and treacherous slopes of Ararat, seeking a tangible link to the past. Satellite imagery, ground-penetrating radar, and even eyewitness accounts from local villagers have all been presented as evidence for the Ark's presence on Ararat. Grainy photographs, purportedly showing wood fragments or rock formations resembling the Ark's outline, have fueled speculation and debate. However, despite these tantalizing clues, no definitive proof of the Ark's existence has ever been found. For true believers, the search for the Ark is more than just a quest for a lost relic. It's a pilgrimage, a reaffirmation of faith in the face of skepticism. The Ark represents the tangible presence of God's intervention in human history, a reminder of His power and promise. The story of Noah's Ark, whether taken literally or metaphorically, speaks to something deep within the human psyche, It taps into our primal fears of environmental catastrophe, our anxieties about the fragility of life, and our yearning for redemption. The flood, in its all-consuming power, represents the chaotic forces that can upend our lives, washing away the familiar and leaving us adrift in a sea of uncertainty. Noah, in his obedience to a higher power, embodies hope and resilience. He is the steadfast captain, navigating his fragile vessel through the storm, trusting in a promise of salvation. The ark, a symbol of sanctuary and rebirth, represents the possibility of renewal, the chance to start anew after the deluge. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always the potential for a new beginning. The story of Noah's Ark reminds us that even in the aftermath of devastation, there is hope for survival, for rebuilding, and for finding new meaning in the wake of loss. The question of whether Noah's Ark is a literal historical event or a powerful myth continues to be debated. Scientific evidence for a global flood, as described in the Bible, is lacking. Geological records, while showing evidence of localized floods throughout history, do not support a single worldwide deluge that submerged the entire planet. However, the lack of scientific corroboration does not diminish the power or significance of the story. Myths, after all, are not simply untrue stories. They are narratives that encapsulate profound truths about the human experience. The story of Noah's Ark, regardless of its historical veracity, speaks to our enduring fascination with creation, our relationship with the natural world, and our capacity for both great destruction and extraordinary compassion. Whether we interpret the story of Noah's Ark as history, myth, or a blend of both, it remains a powerful and evocative tale, challenging us to contemplate our place in the universe and the enduring power of hope in the face of adversity.